what's going on YouTube? So today I really wanted to almost pose a question when it comes to dating. And that question is, I have a career, so where's my girl? And it's actually a question I asked myself a pretty long time ago, back when I was like 25, 26. So for me, it had always been a little bit of a goal to get married and kind of have an awesome life. And especially for me personally, because like I did not have a very fun childhood. Grew up with a lot of dysfunction, a lot of whatever, bad family relationships, whatever you want to call it. And so I always knew that when I was younger, when I got older, I knew that I wanted to have kind of the opposite of that. I wanted to have money, I wanted to have an awesome spouse, have kids, and if I'm going to have kids, then they're going to grow up in an awesome environment, not this dysfunctional pile of junk, I hate to say it, but like all you got to do is watch an episode of Cops and you can see what the kind of almost like common American poverty dysfunction is. Like people think that life should be like fighting with your parents or your spouse or the people around you, and you really shouldn't be fighting that often. You should have I feel like normal life is like you come home from work and people are happy to see you and we come together and yeah, we might go our separate ways because everybody has different interests, maybe it's different stuff that they want to watch on TV, in the home life. And I mean, kids nowadays, everybody has their own tablet and video game system or whatever, but like we shouldn't be fighting with each other all the time. So the question that I'm posing is almost, well, how do you get there? Especially if you're a single guy and you're in your late 20s, maybe early 30s or whatever, and maybe even older, and you've kind of asked yourself, like, well, I have a lot going on. Like, you might even have like your own house and really your own independent life, but like, where is that right girl? Well, I'm here to tell you that she is out there. Like, that's she's definitely out there. There's a, as we say in the car business, there's a butt for every seat, right? If I'm selling a car, but there definitely is the right girl out there, but it kind of goes, there's a lot that goes into it. And I don't want to overcomplicate it, but first of all, like I would say the first step is you have to decide for yourself that you want a high quality girlfriend or spouse, number one. So what that is going to do is as you hit the dating scene and as you like, let's say you get numbers or messages on a dating profile or whatever, like you're actually going to like want to vet them so that you're not going out with like low quality people. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but like you really don't want to like have kids or anything like that, or get into like a move-in relationship with somebody that is going to make your life hell or has like a lot of limiting beliefs in life, like meaning like, oh well, my $10 an hour job at fast food or Dollar General is the only thing that I can do with my life. And that is so not true. I really believe, especially, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm successful as a millionaire or something, but at the same time, like I personally like kind of came from nothing, very poor, to having a pretty solid life, a pretty good life. And so I think that if I can do it, most anybody can do it. And once you do have it, it's a complete and utter blessing, let me tell you. But I would, number one, again, going back to it, is you don't want to go out with like low quality like dating prospects. Like just don't, And I'm not trying to bag on somebody that has like a service job. That's not where I'm coming from. We need people in service jobs or something like that. But at the same time, you don't want to go out with somebody that their life is in a complete shambles. And there's a lot of red flags to pick up for when it comes to women. Do they maybe have multiple children with multiple fathers? You know what I mean? Because I think it's a lot different of a scenario where, let's say somebody has 2 kids with the same guy, and maybe even they were married and they broke up / divorced or whatever, and now that woman is independent and she's, has joint custody of these two kids. That feels a lot different to me. You know, that's probably somebody that thought they had life figured out with a spouse and then it just didn't work. And that is a lot different to me than somebody that just willy-nilly, you know, having kids with whoever they're dating, you know, circa 4 years ago and then 2 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? So, number one, like somebody that's maybe made a little bit of a plan for themselves, and maybe someone with a little independence. So, as I said, there's a lot of red flags, and no, I'm also not banging on women with multiple kids. Like, life happens, it happens, you know, whatever. In that first scenario, you might just be, if you are a girl watching this, you might just be single with a couple kids, and yeah, like life happens. I'm not bagging on you, but on the flip side, if a dude had multiple children with multiple different women, that also should raise a flag for you, right? So, just saying. So you don't want to like be going out all the time with like low quality prospects, and that even can go to like where you're looking. You know, online can be a great place, or in person can be a great way to meet people. But when it comes to like in person, like if you're meeting somebody at a bar, you know, if they're willing to go home with some random dude from a bar, might not be the person that you want to put a ring on, right? So I kind of say all this to say that like kind of vetting your prospects in dating can really save you from a lot of pain later. And it also, a point I really wanted to touch on is sowing seeds. So are you sowing good seeds would be something that I would ask you. And what does that mean? Well, for me, I actually met my wife years and years, not too many years, but like probably 5-6 years before we were married. And we actually like went out on a couple dates, and then we decided not to continue going out. Actually, she didn't want to go out with me because I was in a completely different place. But when I was ready to settle down and be a more wholesome person, she'd always liked me, but like when she sensed that I was a more mature man, ready to calm down, ready to be committed, that's when we actually started actually going out and having a relationship, and then got engaged and married. And what's cool about that though is that I sowed that seed a long time ago. I actually met her in person. She was working at a service job, and asked her to go out with me, and we did. And at that point she didn't like me, but I also, when we went out that first time, I didn't do anything like cringe or you know, lacking in respect, if you will. So like later on, when both of our beliefs were more in alignment, when I was more somebody that was ready for her to date, that's when we actually started getting serious. And it was pretty cool. So in between that time, I definitely had a lot of different girlfriends. So again, that's a product of sowing good seeds. Like when I went out with her the first time, she didn't want to go out with me again on a second date, but I was never disrespectful to her. And also with sowing seeds too, I almost like a side note, I also want to like tell you like, just be aware, very conscious about what you're posting on social media. So like I've got a couple of single friends on my Facebook, and as I scroll, like, you know, these guys, some of them are actually older than me, and they're posting, and they're single, and they're posting like super cringy stuff. Like as a guy, I cringe, much less what women probably think when they see a post like that. And yes, it's kind of more on that line of like objectifying women and whatever. And I think one of the most powerful things well, I'm not single, but like a single man could do is be old school respectful in a day and age where nobody seems to respect each other. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, you know, maybe as this channel grows, I'm gonna get some disrespectful messages and comments, and maybe even some from my ex-girlfriends or whatever. And that's fine, because it's probably well-deserved, because I was a pretty big jerk back in the day, and I'm not gonna hide that. But, you know, if you come across with a high degree of respect and kind of make it make your dating process or your dating journey more about finding out about who women are as it pertains more to their soul. Like, you want to get to know them, and hopefully it evolves into something cool, rather than you're just there to sleep with them or something like that. Like, when you act that way, you're gonna attract a higher like quality woman. And I can really say that me personally, I am a dating coach now, but like, I've been down along a lot of these roads, like going out with girls who have kids, and being Mr. Casanova and Mr. Guy at the bar doing who knows what. Like, when it comes to like dating in a regular heterosexual type relationship, I've kind of done it all. I've had lots and lots of girlfriends through my 20s. So I'm speaking to you from experience. And like I said, if you kind of go after, you have it in your mind that you're gonna go after high caliber dating prospects so that you can become married, then that will happen. It will take some time, as all good things do. Like, they really do. Like, if you want to build a business, if you want to get good at sales, if you want to do build up your career, like, it takes time. Like, in order to get a good career, you have to build up experience out in the world and then bring it to the table to the company that wants to hire you. So it's almost the same thing. So you're gonna reap what you sow. So you want to sow good seeds. You want to be respectful to women, and just vet the low quality prospects so that you can find somebody awesome. And again, you know, if you're the one with the career as well, you're an awesome dating prospect out of the gate, right? You just are. You have your crap together, you go to work and work hard every day to make good money. So if that's you, then you're already a high quality dating prospect compared to thousands and thousands of dudes out there who simply not, who are on the episode of Cops, you know, or whatever mischief they're getting into. So you're not that guy, but you don't want to date somebody that is that girl, right? So make sure you cater what you're doing to that, and also to being respectful, and don't make it about promiscuous activity. Don't make it about that. Make it about getting to know her, and it will organically all come to that eventually. And that's my advice for tonight. So my name is Nate Patterson. I'm a dating coach for men, and I really center my practice around getting men with careers into the relationship that they want, long-term, happy, hopefully marriage. I think that's the best way. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any interest in working with me one-on-one personally, the information is at my website, PattersonCoachingWNY.com. Again, PattersonCoachingWNY.com, where at this point it is a Facebook website, but that gives you like my contact information. You could, you know, email me, you could even text me, and we could explore, you know, maybe you becoming a client so that you can find Mrs. Right out there. But in order to find Mrs. Right, you have to be Mr. Right. And there you go. So have a great night, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.